Grace and peace. Welcome to Spreading Truth Ministry, and thank you so much for watching and listening. Today, I want to tackle the topic of gay rights. Yes, I want to tackle the topic. It's long overdue, and it definitely needs to be discussed. I am a believer. I am a Bible believing preacher, teacher, individual. I don't compromise when it comes to the Word of God. It is what it is. And with that being said, I just want to bring a few things to your attention. I started a video on May 30th, 2015. And I watched this video first, and I was going to make, some comments about, the gay rights and the agenda throughout the country, throughout the world. And what was interesting was what I was going to say on this video that I had started, which I didn't finish. I think that video was only just a couple of comments, and then I actually, which I'm going to review the video so that you can see it as well. What was said on the video, and then I made a comment that I think it talked about Ireland being the first country to pass, the gay rights for the whole entire country. And then I made a statement towards the end because it made a mention about the United States still being divided about the topic. And I made a statement in the video that I was going to make a statement that, well, the United States, I'm sure they're going to follow suit as well. I'm sure that they're going to, change and they're going to nationalize it. You know what I mean? That's what I was going to say in that video on May 30th, 2015. However, before I had an opportunity to put the video out there, the White House shines a rainbow colors to hail the same-sex marriage ruling. So this was June 27, 2015. It says here, I think the ruling maybe was on the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure there's other people that have made comments about the gay ruling and etc. But let's watch the global video, just a little bit of it.
22nd of May, Ireland decides on same-sex marriage.
This is 22nd of May.
The world to put this to a national vote. Ireland has moved fast on gay rights. Until 1993, homosexual acts were illegal here. And it's part of a global movement. The world's first gay marriage was in the Netherlands in 2001, and now same-sex marriage is legal in 18 countries. Even the head of the Catholic Church, which traditionally opposed homosexuality, seems to be changing.
Very unfortunate.
Gay Catholics. Who am I to judge? But the movement towards equal rights for gay people is not a simple one. In 1996, South Africa's constitution was the first to protect sexual orientation as a human right, but that equality may only be on paper. And human rights groups say violent attacks against the LGBT community in South Africa are on the increase. Presidents of Nigeria and Uganda recently passed new anti-gay laws. In India, homosexuality was decriminalized in 2009, but 4 years later, the Supreme Court made it a crime again. That didn't stop Padma Iyer, who put the first marriage ad in an Indian newspaper this week for a groom for her gay son Harish. In some countries, anti-gay is becoming equal to anti-Western values, like Russia in 2012, which bans gay pride parades for 100 years, and later passed a law making it difficult for gay rights groups to operate. Homosexuality is still a crime in 77 countries around the world, and it carries the death penalty in 7. And even the US has an ambiguous attitude to same-sex marriage. California passed it in 2008, but in a referendum voted against. That vote was later overturned. And same-sex marriage is still only legal in some states. So is the world divided in two on gay rights?
Okay. So again, the perspective or the suggestion through the video is that the world is divided on gay rights. As we can see, there are a lot of countries and or states that do not agree that gay people should be married. Now, when we speak of gay rights, generally we're speaking of whether they're able to marry or not. There's nothing on the books that, to my knowledge, that say that they can't vote or that they can't get certain kind of jobs, or they can't, you know what I mean, or they can't use a certain restroom or a water fountain, because I think oftentimes they equate the movement with civil rights. But indeed, it is definitely not nowhere near close to the movement. And I think that that's very unfortunate that they would try to use that as, as a means to compare. I mean, because it's nowhere in, you can't compare the two. They just simply want the right to choose, I guess, to marry or not. That has been the, I guess, topic for discussion, I guess, as long as it's been a discussion. And it's unfortunate that the United States finally, decided for, which, in my opinion, I knew that was coming, unfortunately. And it is unfortunate because America used to be founded on biblical principles. It used to be. And it's very unfortunate that America is no longer God's country. And I have a question, even if it ever was. I'm just going to be just honest. Yeah, I believe that maybe some of the people, perhaps, but in terms of the country itself, I'm just really questioning just the whole ideology of that whole concept. And how could God bless a thing or a nation or people that is going against his word? That's no, I'm sorry, that's not biblical. You know, even in Deuteronomy it speaks on, if you keep my commandments, if you do my judgments, then I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you in the field. I'm going to bless you in the city. I'm going to bless, I'm going to bless, I'm going to bless. But those that don't adhere to his commandments and those that don't do his judgments, I'm going to curse you. So one of the commands is in Leviticus 28 and 22, it says, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Leviticus 20 and 13 says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So we really have to take a stand for the word of God. And I'm really concerned, especially for those churches that are 501(c), because technically you're employees of the government. So if you refuse to marry someone, there's going to be consequences for your refusal to marry someone that is gay. I believe there's going to be severe consequences. You can be sued. Maybe one day you may have to go to jail. They may take away the 501(c), which will be a good idea. But I'll say some churches have used that 501(c) status to establish organizations or to, create some kind of non-for-profit program on the side that's helping to fund your church. And honestly, I used to be in favor of 501(c)s until I want to say maybe about 5 years ago. The Lord began to deal with me about the status and about Satan's deception in the status. And I really believe that we as believers should not have the 501(c). That is my personal opinion. And I'm leaning more towards that strongly as the time goes on when I begin to see these type of mandates. So the Bible is right. Somebody's wrong. And man is wrong. And man will be judged accordingly. Period and point blank. This is not a hate message. This is a truth message. May God bless you until next time. Shalom.